home. Been home for a little bit now. Had to pick up the load, man. I don't know. I've been feeling a little beat up, but I'm good though. Hope you had a good weekend and a good week so far. Uh, it is Wednesday, the 13th. Ooh, but regardless of that, um, it's been alright. Uh, let me think real quick. There's some stuff that came through this week. Well, as you know, Tuesday they had the merger. UFC and the WWE have merged finally to form the TKO. Uh, big. What would you call it? What would you call it? Well, now they're just TKO. Yeah. Um, yeah. Where the UFC and the WWE have now combined. Uh, you know. Um, what is it? These dudes are 4 billion. The WWE is about 12 or so billion. Then WME IMG is worth some billion as well. So they all have united. Ari Emanuel is going to be the head honcho of of the new company. Um, Vince will be chairman somewhat of the WWE. Dana's role kind of moved up a little bit, if I remember correctly. But yeah, man, $21 billion. Get you if you get with stocks, go get your stocks. Get your stocks, man. Get your stocks. Next couple months, depending on how things go, uh, they'll increase or well, right now they're gonna be a little bit on the increase decrease type wave because that's how stocks kind of work. Um, they just hit the market like really now. The TKO stocks, Endeavor is there, and the WWE stocks are there, but now you have TKO. So, um, yeah. So now Dana White is the chief executive officer of the UFC, not the CEO. Yeah, he is, and Lawrence Epstein, the senior executive. So Dana's no longer the president; he's now the CEO. Um, yeah. So you're gonna have one guy who's gonna look over a lot of stuff. Um, I think it will be that Vince is a little above both those guys. He's slightly above. He'll be sitting, I think, above Dana and Khan. So you can pretty much say he's like the second to Ari Emanuel, almost. But big moves coming. Big moves coming. So be careful. Well, be on the watch, I should say. Um, Other than that, there was a couple fight announcements. I don't normally do fight announcements on here. I do fight announcements on the streams. So if you catch me on OK Live, um, that's where we kind of get into fight announcements because those things are kind of shaky. You never know, a fallout can happen, so I just leave it. But I'll get into it. But first, we got to talk about what happened last week. Um, as you can see by the title, well, I have the title on YouTube and Twitch. It's Mexican Independence Weekend, which means all the fights that are gonna happen, they tend to turn up when it's Mexican Independence. Cinco de Mayo, the Latin holidays come around. big time fights tend to show up. We're gonna get those, but we also getting UFC Noche on Saturday. That's gonna start at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, headlined by Valentina Shevchenko as she tries to become a two-time flyweight champion, facing the current champion and the lady who put the upset on Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso. Um, yeah, man. But before I get into that, the UFC is on the upside down, man. We seen one of the most confusing, somewhat confusing, but understandable and amazing performances this weekend. Sean Strickland got an opportunity to fight for the title against Israel Adesanya. Sean Strickland and his team at Extreme Couture, his team took the flight to Sydney, Australia. These dudes were just chilling, enjoying the area, and when fight time came, Sean Strickland put on one of the most miraculous one-sided wins I have ever seen in quite some time. Sean Strickland beat Israel Adesanya 4 rounds to 1. You could say 5 rounds to 0. I say 4 rounds to 1. That's what they had it. And it's real. It's really weird because you even try to look for the 1 round, but it happened. It happened. Um, if you guys haven't, go look at Eric Nixick's. Go look at the interview he did with Luke Thomas, where he talked about it. You know how they managed to beat him because Eric Nixick has been training guys for so many years, and he's just a fan. That's a dude that used to fight. He had a past history. You know what I mean? He used to compete in combat sports. Decided to be a coach, and is a big time coach. That man was able to call out the reads on Israel Adesanya, call out the when Adesanya looks for the jab and on the same side throws the head kick, the hook throws the head kick, all these things that Israel normally does. Nixick called it out, and they stopped all that. Israel, known to use feints and counters, got feinted on by Strickland. Strickland landed that big knockdown in the first round, and Adesanya just wasn't the same, man. Everything Adesanya tried to do, he couldn't do. Complete shutdown. And Eugene Behrman, good coach, really good coach, didn't know what adjustments to give Adesanya. There was no option B or option C if this and that didn't work. Oh, man. It was amazing, though. It was amazing to see. Big props to Sean Strickland. Um, that guy was amazing, man. Shit, I don't know. I'm like, come on, man. They talking about having a rematch, but I'm not sure if you really want to have a rematch, man. Like, really? I want to say you get a rematch, not an immediate rematch. I would like to see if Duplessis could get it. If not, because Jared Cannonier did cut weight to be the sub, get Cannonier, get back in there against Strickland. Um, let's get Izzy Duplessis coming. I mean, you know, this dude Izzy just came out of an immediate rematch already against Pereira. He fought Pereira, he lost. He beat Pereira in an immediate rematch. Now he defends the title, loses to Strickland. He's gonna get another immediate rematch. This man lost the title twice in his last 3 fights. That's insane. That is insane. Bro, what? Man, bonkers, man. But Sean Strickland's cardio, the volume, the setups for his boxing. I tell you, that man's awkward defense. I talked about it too during the stream. He keeps his hands low, but for some odd reason, he doesn't get quite hit. He doesn't get hit quite as much, even though he keeps his hands low. For some reason, he's defensively sound, which is weird. Um, but I did talk about that. You gotta press forward. It gotta be nonstop. All the rounds he had to press on Adesanya. Adesanya needed space and he needed to throw those kicks. And Strickland does what I always talk about when kickboxers. He took away the kicking. He was close enough to take away the kicking, but far enough to implement his boxing. Good stuff by Sean Strickland, man. Good stuff by Sean. Man, that's a rough one, man. Alexander Volkov beat Tai Tuivasa. That was sad because Tuivasa was fighting in his own backyard. Volkov got the rare Ezekiel choke on him in the second round. Other than that, Tai Tuivasa was trying to close the distance, land big, but Volkov with the range, man, that's a big ass kid, man. Like Volkov is what, 6'4" or some shit with about an 80 plus inch reach, like 6'7", 6'7" with an 80-inch reach. Come on, man. Tuivasa wasn't gonna reach that man as bad as he wanted to. He would have to jump in the fire, but then he don't want to get caught with a counter because that dude has superior kickboxing skills. But it just sucked, man. Tuivasa did do good on the ground defending for as long as he could until he got choked. But damn, Manel Kape and Felipe Dos Santos had a scrap, not a scrap, like the scrap. Like one of the best scraps on the card. Also, let's give props to Manel Kape where it's due. Even though, Manel Kape called City Kickboxing, all those guys there, the F word. Y'all called them cigarettes. You called them, yeah, we call them loose. Yeah, he called them all a bunch of cigarettes, a bunch of sticks. He fought well. Felipe Dos Santos came in on short notice. Was supposed to be on this year's Contender Series. Boy, that kid looked fantastic. He got hit a couple times, but boy, he had Manel Kape. Man, Kape gave him a lot of respect. A lot of respect because Dos Santos had him rocked quite a couple times, man. That kid's tenacity, and it's because he's a young guy, but he comes from the shooter box camp, and I can't rave enough how dangerous those shooter box fighters are, man. So big props to them as well. Um, you know, uh, yeah, you're right though. Share price is inflated right now. Given, yeah, we'll go down. That's usually the situation that happens, but in time, in time. What's going on? But yeah, in time, those stocks will manage to rise up. That's what I always say. Whenever new stocks tend to come out, um, sometimes everybody will jump on it, but then it's somewhat of a scam stock, depending, or just a flash in the pan. And then some of the other stocks that tend to come out, you look at the price and you're like, but then after a while, the market's like, we need to get up on this, and then they'll get up on it, and sure enough, there you go, they get that money, and everybody's in to buy. But yeah, man, Cobb came in real good, big strikes. I know he loves that shovel punch heavy, man. He was throwing them hooks, and I love how he throws hooks. So he throws hooks with his whole body. Like he really wants to put you away. He throws the technical strikes, but then he throws those mean shots that are like, yo, you gotta go away. And Philippe got knocked down, but Philippe got back up, and then Philippe had him staggered in like the second round. I'm like, oh my god. The first round he had him rocked. The second round he kind of had him rocked. And it's like, yo, this kid is for real. But I tweeted about that too. I said, prepare yourselves. This is gonna be the fight of the night, and it was, man. Amazing fight. Justin Taffa put away Austin Lane in the first round. Taffa did get poked in the eye a little bit again. And then Taffa was like, man, fuck all that. He ended up throwing, he landed a nice combination. Threw the Mark Hunt left hook, that leaping left, dropped Lane, and then went in for some unholy ground and pound. Oh my God. Austin Lane was knocked in and out of consciousness, and they called it a TKO, but Lane was like knocked in and out of consciousness. Like, what the fuck? He's gone. Tyson Pedro, he came back. He was training with City Kickboxing. I didn't know that. He looked real good against the pleasure man Anton Turkali. Now, Anton had 2 losses, I think it was, before this. And he talked a little smack. He tried to talk a little smack. Props that you got on the main card. But boy, oh boy. You said that questionable ass comment during the presser. I didn't understand it. Then you looked so lost in the fight. I didn't understand it. Straight one way for Tyson Pedro. Pedro took off, man. 1-2s. He was just bonking 1-2 shots to the body. The leg kick, but his footwork was just lightning fast, man. But the timing on his hands were the same way too. Man, he had Anton on skates. He had him on his tippy toes too. And he dropped him and landed them hammer fists. Knocked him with a 1-2. Dropped him with the 1-2 and then went for the hammer fist. Put him away. Jesus. That was awesome. And I liked his celebration too. He did a nice little shogun slash with the sword. A shogun? Samurai. A samurai shogun. We'll do one of the same. He said, Hayach. Did the slash, twirled up the sword, put it in the sheath, hit the bow. That was what's up. I like that. That was pretty cool. Carlos Ulberg put in work too. He looked clean. Got a late submission. They were gonna call it a unanimous decision, but one of the judges, one of the people in the corner managed to see that Down Jung tapped because Ulberg had a rear naked on him. Down Jung did try to pick up the action in the third round, but the majority of the fight, Ulberg was looking good, man. He spaced out that footwork because he got long limbs, man. So he just looks like a gazelle when he's in there. He can just reach real quick with his legs, back up real quick, get in real quick. He landed that left hook. His left hook is crazy. Rock Jung, damn near finished Jung. Jung was trying to show some firepower in the second round, but Ulberg gave him some business more. Jung was coming back hard in the third, but Ulberg was like, nope, we're not doing this. I learned wrestling. I'll give you the business. And he did. He dug down deep for that third round and got the submission. Props to Ulberg. Chepe Mariscal fought Jack Jenkins. This ended in a technical knockout. Jenkins was looking good. Mariscal went for a throw in the second round. And poor Jack Jenkins, he went to frame to try to get his balance, and his arm That elbow gave out, brother, and it dislocated. It dislocated. He dropped. It kind of relocated somewhat back, somewhat. Then Chepe kind of landed on the arm accidentally. Yeah, my dude was gone. Jack Jenkins was in pain, and that was that. So Chepe Mariscal, one of my picks, man. One of my picks. Um, yeah, one of my underdog picks there. Chepe, man, good job. Jamie Malarkey and John McDessie had a good scrap back and forth. This one could have been a draw. It's just crazy that McDessie's like nearly 40 and still looks as good as he is. I guess some of the younger talent. Malarkey did look good. I wish Malarkey would have tried to put more wrestling in there, but he didn't. Um, and he did land some good shots, but it was a good back and forth. They gave Jamie Malarkey the unanimous decision. It could have been a split decision. It could have been a draw. But just throwing out there the unanimous decision, it went the right way. But even if McDessie would have won that, I wouldn't have been upset. But they gave it to Malarkey. I have Malarkey going into the fight, so Malarkey. Landon Quinones fought Nasrat Haqparast. Quinones coming from this season of tough that not many people were fond of. I do have a couple of those episodes up. Should check those out. Team McGregor versus Team Chandler. Quinones didn't look great. Well, he did look great until he got caught by Jason Knight in the triangle. But that's Jason Knight. He fought Nasrat Haqparast. Bruh, on a full camp, this dude looked good. Nasrat Haqparast won by unanimous decision. Landon Quinones was whooping Nasrat's ass, though, on the leg, hitting him with the legs, catching him with these nice little boxing combinations. Yo, Landon is good, man. Landon is good. Get Landon of somebody who's a little bit more on his level, because Landon's only 7-2-1 right now. Nasrat's 15-5. And look at all the guys Nasrat has fought in the UFC so far. So, Quinones had a good showing. We got to give props. A lot of these guys who had an opportunity to be on this card, or even on the main portion of the card, delivered, man. We got to give Felipe Dos Santos props. Landon Quinones. This next one, Charles Radke beat Mike Mathetha, a.k.a. Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond could strike. Good kickboxer. Good kickboxing skills. His MMA skills, though, horrible. He did defend some takedowns, but horrible. City Kickboxing is a good gym. But there's a lot of those guys that don't seem to be on point with what's in the UFC. Like, there's a clear skill gap with many of those guys. Israel Adesanya is good. Alexander Volkanovski is good. Jamie Malarkey has leveled up. Ulberg is leveling up, and we can tell that because, Ulberg's record is only 9-1. They leveling up, but Mike, my dude, you got to sit out, get takedown defense proper, learn to wrestle, learn to get out of the wrestling without expending yourself. This dude in the middle of the second round, this dude is gassed. And all Radke did was press himself on him. Press himself, pretty much clinch against the cage for the most part. He did rock. He rocked Blood Diamond. He rocked the hell out of Blood Diamond. He caught him with a mean right. Rock this dude. My man's gasping for air in the middle of the second round. We're like, yo, after the first round, he's like, yo, what the fuck is happening here? He did land some good combinations back at Charles, But Charles was just eating it and going right back at him. Man, Mike, you gotta go take time off and improve, man. But Charles Radke got the unanimous decision against Mike Mateta. He also dropped the F-bomb there. He was the first one. And then before the show ended, he definitely apologized on social media. The other guy, and the UFC are gonna cut this dude for sure. Gabriel Miranda came in to fight Shane Young. Shane Young is a member of City Kickboxing. This is exactly what I'm talking about, where these younger guys, some of these guys in City Kickboxing are not it. Shane Young walked into this cage, had the blonde hair, super ready, was talking all this week. He's super focused, super ready. Gets submitted in under a minute. 59 seconds. What? 59 seconds. Gabriel Miranda ran up on him. Waistlock. Got the hooks. Toyed with the back. Rear naked. Shane Young was unconscious. In under a minute. 59 seconds. Bruh. If Shane Young is still getting a fight after this, I don't know what the hell we're doing in the UFC anymore. Shane Young got to pack it up. I'm sorry. Shane Young is one of the fighters who honest to God, as far as the UFC is concerned, boxing is concerned, I don't want to see him back here again. I don't. I really, really don't. You taking up space for another guy who's willing to improve, to really put his skills out there and really do something, man. Like, what are you doing, bro? What is going on? My man's for Rolando D and Austin Arnett. Those are your last two wins. Those are your only two wins. You lost to Alexander Volkanovski. Then you joined City Kickboxing after that. You beat Rolando D. You technically knocked him out. You beat Austin Arnett. And then you get handled by everyone else. Even a dude with less fights than you and Blake Builder. Come on, man. They gave you a gimme against Gabriel Miranda. You missed weight on top of that. You missed weight by 3 pounds. They gave you a submission artist. And I said it last week. That's a gimme fight. And you'd still lose. And he lost. Man. Shane Young, man. And Kevin Jousset and Kiefer Crosby. Crosby was making his debut from Bellator. Fighting Kevin Jousset. I kind of knew he was City Kickboxing. But my rule is, depending on how many City Kickboxing guys are on the card, I got a like crazy rule. So there were about 6. So my rule is 1 will lose for sure. 2 will be in a shaky fight. And 3 will win. Most definitely win. So Jousset won. Malarkey won. Alberg won. Right? Alberg won. Okay. Jousset won. Shane Young was in a shaky fight and lost. That was my for sure loss. Mike Mateta was in a shaky fight. So when I say shaky, it's either it'll start off weird and then it'll end up good, or be good and then end up bad. Mike Mateta ended up in a good, then bad. Shane Young definitely lost. But yeah, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, Adesanya was in a shaky fight and lost. But Alberg, Malarkey, and Jusette all won. Even though Tyson Pedro, he's not an official City Kickboxing member, he just trained there for this fight, so it doesn't count. Because they announced it, we got 6 City Kickboxing fighters. So that's how it worked out. It worked out. 3 guys won. 2 of them were in shaky fights. And Shane Young was the definitely gonna lose. So I went 10-2 on the picks. Giuseppe was really good. He's a long rangey guy for 170. And Crosby did look good, but Crosby's leg kept getting tagged up. Giuseppe did a good job with the leg kicks. Crosby's leg was jacked up. And then Giuseppe, where I thought Crosby should have struck a little more. He went for a judo throw. And Giuseppe just reversed the throw, kind of got a better position on it, and ended up with taking the back. So he controlled. And Crosby didn't even defend the submission. My dude had his hands to the floor, knees on the ground, hand and knees, almost doggy, and just gave it up to Giuseppe so Giuseppe could get the submission. Bruh, what? Oh my God. And Crosby's an SBG Ireland fighter. So that messed me up. That messed me up, man. That messed me up bad. But other than that, I think it was Friday. We had Game Bread. We had Game Bread Bare Knuckle. You can check that out on YouTube. I stream out okay live, but you can check that out on YouTube. The whole card is there for free. Kayla Harrison and Robin Black were on commentary. Jorge Masvidal was there checking it out. They did a good ticket sales, man. Kind of surprised. Masvidal got something. And they were live in Florida, Jacksonville. But pretty much, man, there's a dude who got a submission in 13 seconds. There were some good KOs and TKOs. Shazab Rindi got a good finish on this dude named Carlos Guerra. Johansky Sojo fought this dude Tyler Hill. That was pretty crazy. Joey Rouquette and Joe Penafiel. Yo, you got to check that fight out. This dude hit this man with some elbows, and one of the elbows busted this dude open. Looked like he had a third eyelid in the middle of his head. This shit was crazy. And he was just leaking. Oh, my God. Violence. Just blood violence, man. That shit was crazy. But the Reggie Northrup and Cody Herbert fight, Northrup won, but that was a crazy back and forth in the second and third rounds. Northrup hit this dude with everything, and Herbert was just still there. That was bonkers. Anthony Njokuani beat Brandon Jenkins. That was a weird back and forth fight because Njokuani looked like he was winning. Then Jenkins hit him with a spinning back elbow. Njokuani was rocked. Then it looked like Jenkins was winning it. Then Njokuani was taking it. But then Jenkins was using his wrestling. Like I thought he would use his wrestling more often in the fight. He waited till later in the fight to use the wrestling. Stupid mofo. Njokuani's an ill striker, bro. Can't do that. Argo Husick beat Brandon Davis. That was a good back and forth fight. Joshua Weems beat Irvin Rivera. That was a good back and forth fight. Joel Bowman beat Maki Patolo. Absolutely demolished Maki Patolo. Man. And Bowman's a weirdo. Bowman's the dude who wore the S&M outfit in LFA at one time. Or CFFC. But, you know, he's there. He was calling out pedophilia and all this stuff. You know, he does weird stuff to bring awareness to the real topic. So, you know, Credit to him, man. And Junior Dos Santos fought Fabricio Verdum in a 5-rounder. No, in a 3-rounder, my fault. 5-minute 3-rounder, my fault. I don't want to gas y'all up like that. Dos Santos pretty much walked out there and did Dos Santos things. He defended the takedown well. He jabbed his ass off. He threw the big right hand whenever he could. He threw his hooks and uppercuts whenever he could. But his jab and leg kicks. Verdum looked, he was fit as hell. Like, you remember how he looked when he fought, what's that dude, man? Ronda Rousey's man. Fuck, how do I forget this dude's name, man? I don't forget fighters' names like that. Shit. What's that dude's name, man? Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Oh shit! Travis Brown? Yeah, Travis Brown. How the fuck I just forget that? But yeah, Verdum had his one eye lumped. His other eyelid looked like it was hanging. Verdum got fucked up, man. He couldn't do nothing much, and every time it fell to the ground, he tried to get Junior Dos Santos to get down so he could get the guard on him, pull guard. He's laying in guard. Like, come on, man. Verdum, it's 2023. We know your game plan already. It's either fight on the feet or just be like, fuck it, we're out of here. My man's laying on the ground trying to hope they can get him in guard. Bless you. And so, you're welcome. And so, it didn't work out. So, that was it, man. That was last week. Now, the Contender Series was yesterday, week 6. Awesome. All the fighters got a contract, as well as the fact that every fight was good. We don't get that much in the Contender Series where every fight is good on the one card. I think we kind of got that last season. During 2021, I think we had got that. 2019, we had got that. 2021, we definitely got that. But bro, 2023, we got another one. Every fight was good. Bruh, so Contender Series 2023. Oh yeah, before I continue, shout out to Laura Sanko and commentary on UFC 293. That lady was on. And what's even crazy is that she didn't have notes. I was truly, truly impressed. But that's been one of her things, though. She keeps everything so locked in memory. So she'll tell you, like, footwork, interviews that she watched, interviews she did with the fighter, key points in the fight. She just breaks down fights so well. I love to see more of her on the commentary team. And she did well because she kept DC in check. DC manages, sometimes when he's on there, him and Rogan tend to go off the record and just talk about random bullshit. She kept DC on point. It was her, Anik, and DC. And DC would throw a joke. She'll rebound, and then she'll keep him right back in check. So I was like, wow. And Anik, you can tell Anik appreciated that because Anik likes to talk the ins and outs of the sport and what's going on in the fights. So that was really, really impressive. I like to see it, man. I really enjoy it. And this is a lady who still does her jiu-jitsu. She hasn't had really a lot of fights in MMA, but just her knowledge and her process to understand is just amazing. So big props to Laura Sanko. But yeah, man, this card yesterday, Contender Series. So everybody got a contract. I'll tell you that first. Check it here if you didn't get to check it yesterday. Check it here on OK Live. If you're on YouTube and Twitch hearing this, go on OK Live and find me, Mr. B. But yeah, man. We had John Matsumoto versus Casey Tanner at 135. Matsumoto beat Casey Tanner But Tanner was game. But Jesus Christ, 14-0 is this John Matsumoto kid who's 24 years old. He has a kickboxer style, Muay Thai type style, out of Brazil. I don't know who's teaching this kid. He's a future menace. This boy's fight IQ is through the roof. Yo, this man was setting up shots before he even threw the next shot. Managed to maneuver around this dude, some of Tanner's shots, land crazy combination, and kept his pace going for all 3 rounds. He even had a chin. He got a chin. Yo, put him up in the big league. They gave him a contract. Go to the PI. Work with your team. See if you can get some training from another team, another high caliber team. Yo, in like 3-4 fights, we're all gonna be calling him the menace for sure, for sure. Tanner looked good too, man. I wouldn't have minded, to see if he would have got a contract as well. We'll probably see Tanner get a call back. Tanner did look good, man, but this Matsumoto was on another level yesterday night, man. Julia Palastri from Brazil fought Patricia Alujas from Paraguay. Palastri won this fight, rear naked choke in the second round. Alujas was striking really good. She came in more so as a boxer. She put nice combinations together. Was tagging Palastri. She had a good 1-3, 3-1, 1-2s. Just tagging up Palastri for the most part of the first round. But then as the round continued, Palastri was like, hey, I'm tired of this bullshit. And she started getting her shots in. She threw some good 1-2s. She threw a couple good leg kicks. She was landing these head kicks, though. Oh, shoot. I'm surprised Alujas didn't go down, like really end up getting knocked out. My girl wasn't really having defense for them head kicks. She was just eating them joints. Eventually, second round came. Palastri was doing the same thing. Then she switched levels. She got a big takedown, good waist lock, overhead takedown. Boom, dropped her heavy. And then just ruled on her with ground and pound, find her way, and got a rear naked choke. Good job by Palastri. She gets a contract. And both these ladies were pretty. So, Palastri cute, man. She a cutie. Yeah. Stephen Gwynn fought AJ Cunningham. This fight was a banger as well. Stephen Gwynn had tried for the Contender Series a little while back. He got knocked out by Alon Cruz. Now Alon Cruz ended up getting kicked out of the UFC. Which lets you know how the UFC play. Alon Cruz got beat twice or so. They said, nah, man, you gotta get the hell up out of here. You know what I mean? My dude was fighting. My dude was trying to be the most massive 145er, knowing damn well he should fight at 155. So they cut him because he didn't want to try it. He eventually moved down to 155 elsewhere. But yeah, Gwynn came through for this MMA prospect. Was on fire. Whoo! Him and AJ were on fire. But boy, Gwynn was on hots, man. Gwynn came out, nice footing, nice footwork, couple good feints, landed some mean shots on AJ. AJ was firing back, but then there was one shot, I think it was a groin shot, accidental. And then when they came back out, there was only a few seconds left in the round. Man, Gwynn hits him with a clean right hand. Puts this dude, AJ Cunningham, down. And then starts raining ground and pound. But the bell rang. AJ gets saved by the bell. Second round comes. They're scrapping. AJ just got some fire on them. He's trying to scrap. And he's in it, in his face. Steven said, cool. We gonna play this then. Steven Gwen kept firing. They both firing. Gwen landing the cleaner shots. Getting overwhelming AJ Cunningham. Steven Gwen catches him with a good left, and I think a left and a right. Cunningham is rocked. And this boy Steven moved in and lit this man up on the feet. So bad the ref came in and said, nah, brother, we got to stop this. So that was why I did second round TKO. Jonathan Diniz fought Eduardo Neves. Battle of the big boy Brazilians at heavyweight. It was a first round fight. I knew it'd be ugly. I like big boy fights, but big boy fights are the most entertaining when it's two fast guys with good cardio, or it's two monsters that are just gonna bang it out for one round. I know some other fights, they've lasted longer and they've got a KO or TKO, and I've enjoyed those too, but shoot. Neves rocked this dude. Diniz was fighting. Diniz is a kickboxer. Neves more of the MMA type guy. Neves is. Diniz is the kickboxer. Now, Neves was coming in with the MMA style approach. So he came in, swarmed on Diniz, took away a lot of Diniz's technique in the beginning of the fight. Eventually, Diniz was landing some good shots in the mix, but Diniz started to get his space. And when it comes to kickboxing, as we just learned from UFC 293, you can't give a kickboxer space. It's going to be problems. Man was able to get his kicks out. Then they got busy. They got in the middle of the cage. And Diniz lands this swift 1-2. Boom, boom. Jab right cross. Puts Neves away. Blew the doors off this dude, man. Awesome job by Jonathan Diniz. He gets a contract. Then we got Malik Lewis, who came in. He had fought previously. I know who he fought, but I can't quite remember. Trevor Peek. There you go. He fought Trevor Peek. Got caught up in Trevor Peek's game, got overwhelmed, and then got handled. He came in here fighting a dude by the name of James Lontop out of Peru. Now, if you listen to me on OK Live, I've been or on here on the B-sides, I've talked about the Peruvian wave and how a lot of these Peruvian fighters have shown up to do damage in MMA. We had Enrique Barzola from AKA for years, and now we've gotten quite a couple guys. You've noticed some of these dudes in the UFC who have shown up out of Peru, and as I mentioned, because Peru they were on lockdown, a lot of these guys managed to train. They train amongst each other. It's a community, but motherfuckers want to rise up and come to the States to be to be big. That's how it is in other cultures. Motherfuckers come out. Yo, man, I don't got no sparring partners. You want to be my sparring partner? You know what I mean? They be like, sure, buddy. And we out there, you know what I mean? You need some equipment? Take some equipment. Do this, do that. So all these dudes been brewing in Peru. This dude, one side shellacking against Malik Lewis. Man, I think they even gave this dude a 30-26 round or some shit like that. Long Top was beating this dude's ass, man. Malik Lewis he was trying. He's trying. But Lewis got overwhelmed. He got taken down, mauled, man. Mauled bad. We ain't gonna see Lewis come back over here for a while. Lewis got to get like 3 wins or so under his belt before he got a chance in the UFC. In impressive fashion at that. 3 or 4. If he got like 1 or 2, Bellator will probably pick him up. But shit, you're gonna be in the regionals though. But that's what happened on the Contender Series. And so, I know Jason's gonna probably hear this, so I gotta talk about it real quick. Bellator announced 2 fights. Bellator announced their 301 card actually today. Bellator 301. I know I've talked about the possible sale of Bellator, but it seems that they're gonna keep doing business until they announce this sale or whatever. But it's getting crazy. Um, it's getting crazy. We have 2 title fights on the same card. Um, and it's actually 2 of the most craziest fights you can actually make right now. Um, our boy, because I always gotta say our boy, because he's our boy. I don't care what anybody says. He's our boy. Um, we're going to Chicago for Bellator 301. And on top of this 2 title fights, we're getting a rematch of the Bantamweight Grand Prix. Yaroslav Abasov, who's been undefeated since coming to Bellator, actually undefeated his whole career, 27-0, has dominated damn near every, like, he hasn't had one really slacking performance, really. I think the only one is probably Gerald Harris. Um, yeah, Gerald Harris probably. Other than that, Amosov has fought damn near everyone and had solid performances. 27-0. He'll be facing 16-4 Jason Jackson. Jason Jackson is a representative of Black Zillions, 365 Hard Knocks, Kill Cliff, Sanford, whatever you want to name those gyms. He's the guy that's been there, tried and true. Was on the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter. He's been there. He will be fighting on this card. He will be facing Yaroslav Amosov. Jason Jackson's quite improved his striking, using his long range. He's improved his wrestling, offensively and defensively, and has actually shown a decent cardio, decent gas tank. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We also have Sergio Pettis versus Patchy Mix, because we all want to see that. Sergio Pettis 23-5. Facing the interim champ Patchy Mix was 18-1. Sergio Pettis, we haven't seen him fight since he knocked out. No. Yeah, last time he fought Pitbull, right? Yeah, that was it. He shut out Pitbull. Before that, he had that gnarly knockout against Kyoji Horiguchi. The missed head kick to spinning back fist. But yeah, Patchy Mix, submission savant, but won that tournament knocking out Ruffian Stotts pretty much. Knocked that man out cold. Cold. Boy, oh boy. I'm looking forward to that. We got Patricky Pitbull, Patricky Freya. There you go. Why am I so troubled by that last name? Versus Alexander Shabali. Patricky is 25-11 overall, but 16-9 in Bellator. Alexander is 23-3, 4-0 in Bellator. We also got the Danny Sabatello Raufeon Stotts rematch. Um, gonna be awesome. Gonna be awesome. We also have Ali Isaev versus Daniel James as a heavyweight fight. Tyrell Fortune versus Marcelo Golm. That's another heavyweight fight. Justin Gonzalez versus Timur Krasiev. I think that's either featherweight or lightweight. Mike Hamill versus Tim Wild. That's gonna be a lightweight or 170. Sumiko Inaba versus Denise Keelholtz is flyweight. Wow, that's a matchup. Inaba versus Keelholtz. Woo! And they both fine. And Islam Mamadov versus Kitty Smolta. That's 170. I am happy. Let's go. But yo, there's a lot of MMA this week. There's a lot of MMA this week. Bro, there's a lot of MMA this week. If you got the zone, tune in the Octagon. Octagon 46. This will be on Saturday at 12 noon. If I can, I'll try to put it on. I'll try. I haven't, well, I kind of do, but because I be caught up with stuff, so sometimes I don't get to stream as much as I used to. But yeah, man, this is a good card. Headlined by a women's strawweight championship between a lady by the name of Katarina Velista, who's 9-3 out of Germany, against Jacinta Austin, who's 5-1. Good skills on both sides, and watching these cards like Octagon, you gotta look because people are gonna get picked up. People are gonna get picked up, man. What happened?
I'm showing the girl, people reviewing your girlfriend Shakira performance at the VMAs.
Oh, I haven't even looked up that. I wanted to see how she.
She didn't know she was good.
No, I want to see who was it? Demi Lovato.
Yeah, I don't know. Did he perform?
And I forgot who else what it was.
Every step I take with the daughters.
Oh.
Twin, the two girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like Taylor Swift and everyone, even that girl Ice Spice, she was
Yeah,
up there slipping. She was watching Shakira and she made up like her face like.
Yeah, because people act like Shakira can't move.
And she come over, said what?
People forget like that's what Shakira growing up doing. We got David Kozma, who's 32, 12-0 from the Czech Republic. Is this man the Panther? It's a 170 fight. Why this motherfucker like a monster? He has 21 wins by finish, 11 wins by decision. Jesus Christ. And he beat this guy before, Bohan Velikovic. Bohan sounds familiar. That name sounds very familiar. I want to say one championship. I also want to say Bellator. This is a tournament that he's in. Serbian Steel, 23-12. Yeah, let's see. Let's check the record. This guy he has 17 wins by finish. 7 wins by KO TKO, 10 by submission, 6 by decision. But he lost 10 fights by decision and 2 losses by KO TKO. But I said, this dude sounds like. See? Yeah! See, motherfucker. Yeah. Velikovic. Yeah. See, wrong organization, but I knew he was from somewhere. Motherfucking UFC. UFC. See, that's why I watched too much. I swear to God, I watched too much MMA. Yeah, motherfucker fought Alessio Chirico. I remember he fought Darren Till. It went to a whole ass decision. Boring ass. Well, not really. Somewhat boring ass fight. Because it was just Darren Till fighting him from a distance the whole fight. Jake Matthews split decision. Yeah, then he was in the PFL. I don't remember him being in the PFL though. But yeah, see, I always remember some freaking name, even if I don't watch the organization like that. But Christian Jungwirth, who's 14-7 out of Germany, fights 19-12. John Paloigos at 170. Louis Glissman, who's 11-2, fights Andreas Michailidis at 170. Michailidis is dropping weight? Whoa. That's what he should have done in the UFC. Silly, man. This way you would have never had to take that goddamn knee from from uh from Alex Bahia. Shit. But he's in this tournament too. Okay. Former UFC standout. Leandro Silva fights Mohamed Grabinski. And Leandro Silva's been around for a minute. 26-11. Yup. Leandro Silva used to fight in the UFC. Yup, and I'm right. See? Mother sucker. Mother sucker. He's on the Ultimate Fighter. Oh, he only had. Okay, yeah, he had fights. He got cut. Then he came back. His last fight was Rustam Hambilov. That sucks. It, yeah, he submitted Charlie Brenneman. I'm not shocked by that. But yeah, fighting Hambilov. I wish Hambilov would have never like ended his run. That man Rustam was solid. Kareem and Gizek, 18-4, fights Matias Juarez out of Argentina. Karim, I want to say it's from Turkey, Germany. Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf. Denise Elbe, 4-0, fights Marco Novak, 2-0.
He's sweating.
Um, out of Slovakia. Slovakia. Okay, Slovakia. Um, oh shit, wrong window. Hey, what the fuck?
Uh,
Oh, okay. There you go. Because I got KSW and this joint open. Okay. We also got Nico Samsundis, 9-2 versus Nikolay Hantea. Okay. 8-3. Francisek Fodor, 9-7 versus Vladimir Sikic, another Slovakian fighter. What's this? No, that's not Croatia. Yeah, it's Croatia. Shit, too. Croatia. Andrit Lodge Shorty versus Tayo Odonjo. And then Odonjo is 4-3. Lodge Shorty is 2-1. And it opens with Zorn Solada versus Daniel Romek. 2-0 versus 2-3. So you can check that out on the Zone. If you have a DAZN subscription, that's 12 o'clock, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. You can check that out. LFA got a card. I won't kill you with this one. This one's on Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Live in New York, man, Niagara Falls. One of my favorite fighters to watch, Jonathan Piersma, fights Devin Smith in a welterweight bout. Devin Smith is a pretty solid dude. Good, pretty solid, skilled fighter. Is Devin Smith out of Michigan, young 228, 72-inch reach, solid submission skills. He can strike, but he's got solid submission skills. That's why they put him against Piersma. Piersma is a good fighter. He's 6-1, but what makes Piersma dangerous is that dude's submission ability is nasty. Not only is he a solid fighter with solid submission skills, he fights everybody. Like in fighting, in mixed martial arts or submission grappling, even just wrestling, Jonathan Piersman is 27 years old, out of Waterville, New York. That's quite away from where I'm at. But yo, this kid is nasty. 1 by KO TKO, 4 by submission. Man, he fights a lot of cats. He had a lengthy amateur record in mixed martial arts and 6-1 as a pro. And together, I think it's about 13 fights. Oh, well, 15 or over. Yeah. No. Yeah, close to 15 fights. Jesus, man. Samid Magomedov, who's 6-1, fights Bakamorj Marshall Bakromjan. Oh, okay. Bakromjan. Okay, there you go. Bakromjan Mashrapov, who's 7-2. 20 what? 23 years old? Well, that other guy was pretty damn young that knocked out Bruno Silva. Oh no, Bruno. Was it Bruno Silva or Bruno Ferreira in the UFC just a while ago? Yeah, dude's from Uzbekistan and got 6 wins by KO TKO and 1 decision. He's only lost twice from decision. Oh, go fuck yourself. That means he's gonna put somebody out, man. That's dope. That'll be dope. Ashley Nichols, who's 5-4, fights Nadia Vera, who's 4-1. Ashley Nichols has been fighting for a long time, actually. Not for a long time, but she's been on the radar for quite some time. Um, yeah, see, I know I'm not bugging out. Yeah, she fought Randa Marcos. I don't remember that, but I definitely remember she fought Anissa Mexon. Yes, she fought Anissa Mexon. She fought Mallory Martin. She fought Hillary Rose. I know the Mexon joint because it was at the point where people just said, "Yo, we need fights for Mexon." Jimmy Lawson fights Matt Adams at heavyweight. Lawson 4-2. Matt Adams 1-1. Then the rest of this card. Oh shoot! Excuse me. Jesus. Okay. Pretty some okay fights for the rest of the card. What else was taking place? KSW got a card. I think this is on Saturday. Oh shit. Yeah, there you go. Shit. Okay. Yes. At 1 o'clock Saturday, in Wrocław, Poland. If you want to watch this on Fight TV. Jakub Wiklax, who's 14-3-1, will be defending his bantamweight championship against Sebastian Przybylskis. Yes, I said that. Przybylskis. Or Przybylsk. Oh shit, Przybylsk. Okay, there you go. Przybylsk. Przybylsk. All right. The Dawid Smielowski, who's 10-0, fights normally Eskiju, who's 20-7. 10-0 is the Poland man. The German man is 20-7. That's a featherweight bout. Michael Michalski, who's 10-5, fights Dominic Humberger, of the Czech Republic, Humberger. Philippe Stawari, who's 10-3, fights Victor Pesta. Oh, shoot, another castaway. What? See, we always got some castaways, man. Victor Pesta. 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 Pesta fought for the UFC, but he also fought for Bellator. Not Bellator. Fuck. PFL. Yep. Yeah, he fought Marcin Tabora. Tabora knocked him out, and Derek Lewis annihilated him. That's the only reason I remember. Because Derek Lewis annihilated him third round, and then Tabora head kicked him. And they said, "Yo, brother, you gotta go." Other than that, the rest of this card is pretty simple, pretty solid. Good um, regional talent. A lot of Polish folks, of course, because they're in Poland. Um, check that out if you have Fight TV. Not bad. Nice, good thing to watch there. But that's not what you're here for, man. You're here for me to talk about UFC Fight Night. UFC Fight Night. Live in Las Vegas, Nevada. This card will start at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I mentioned it earlier. Schevchenko looking to get her title back against Alexa Grasso. Prelims start at 4. No, prelims start at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Main card starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. So far, there are 11 fights on this card. This feels like a pay-per-view almost. But, yo, we got Josephine Knudsen versus Marnik Mann. Josephine Knudsen actually comes from the Contender Series. She fought Isis Verdbeek, beat Isis, but because it went to a decision, she didn't get signed. Now, they decided to put her on the card. She was supposed to fight Ismin Lucindo, but Lucindo pulled out of the fight. So, they rushed to get an opponent. They got Marnik Mann. Now, Knudsen, you watched, I think, you can see it on week 3 here on the Contender Series. Yeah, I think it was week 3. Yeah, week 3. The girl's beastly. She has a solid kickboxing skills, but her wrestling is pretty solid. Her power is insane. And she just has really good technique. For a girl that only has her record, like for a lady with her record, she only 6-0. She got potential. But she'll be facing Marnik Mann, who's 6-1, 30 years old, out of Montana Mixed Martial Arts. Now, it's interesting they got Marnik up in here because Marnik did fight for the Contender Series. And she got knocked out. She ended up out cold by Bruno Brazil at a second round head kick last season. Other than that, good stoppages. She's really aggressive. She has 4 fights as an amateur, and she has the 6 fights as a 7 fights as a pro. Um, yeah, so she got a lot of experience. She got a lot of MMA experience. She gets aggressive. She gets aggressive when she gets a ground and pound um, with the punches and the elbows. Uh, she has good submission skills. We'll see how this turns out. Um, Notable win, she beat Emma, who comes from NHB Fit. Um, and she fought Jamie Thornton. Now Jamie Thornton, not that big of a deal. She's been fighting in women's martial arts for some years, but now it don't really look right. But she fought Paulina Macias. That's a quality win. Um, Paulina's 4-2 right now, and she's like the hella boxer. But she got submission wins. um, yeah. So we'll see how it goes, man. Take keys to note. Josephine Knudsen trains with Glory. Is it? No. She trains with All Stars Gym. That's Alexander Gustafsson, Jimmy Manua, Hamza Chimaev, those guys. So yeah, there's a lot of skills in that gym. We got Charlie Campbell, my dude from Serra Longo, fighting Alex Reyes. Campbell's this would be a lightweight fight. Charlie Campbell 7-2 to Cannibal killed. He get beat up, man. He got beat up against Chris Duncan. Um, when Duncan came back with fire, man, and put away this dude. In a great fight too, for what it was. It only lasted under 2 minutes, but the exchanges were nuts. And then Chris Duncan, when that man's on fire, he's on fire for real. Um, but since then, my dude picked up 2 wins. Well, not 2 wins. He won a grappling bout, and then he beat a dude first round. Knocked him out. Josh Straker. There you go. Other than that, good skills, nice kickboxing, good 1-2. Submission skills are pretty good, but his stand up is pretty solid. I like Campbell, but he's going up against Reyes, man. 13-3, Alex Reyes. 5'11 with a 73-inch reach. Our man over here, he's up in age at 36, but I don't mean shit. Uh, 9 wins by KO TKO, 4 wins by submission. He's lost 3 times, twice by strikes, and once by decision. And the last time we seen him, he got knocked out by Mike Perry. Now, before that, he had a lot of canceled fights. Yeah, he was out for a long time. Then he was supposed to come back after that against Nazar Hakparas, but it didn't happen. Then he was supposed to fight Trevor Peake, but that didn't happen. And he was supposed to fight Nathan Levy, but that didn't happen. This dude got a lot of empty. Damn. Yeah, this might be a setup. They might give this to Campbell. Who that? Oh shoot. Hey man, I thought you was gonna fill out the blue card. I put the blue card on the table yesterday. Blue card.
No, I checked it off to the side. If I don't need to update it, then I want to fill it out.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. All right. I didn't know that. All right. So I had to talk to my niece real quick. JC Cortez fights Jasmine Jasuda Vicious. Ah! I'm so upset. I love Tracy Cortez. Who did what? I don't have no idea. Oh no! I didn't even know we had donuts. Wow. So Tracy Cortez, number 14, faces number 15, Jasmine Jasudavicius. Now Tracy Cortez. Yeah, when's the last time we seen Tracy Cortez fight? I don't even remember. We could go through it. Tracy's 29, 5'5", 65-inch reach. Got a fight ready. She just be riding her way through decisions, man. But she got strong wrestling. She got heart. We haven't seen her fight since Melissa Gatto. That's Oh yeah, that is right. Damn. May of last year, she was supposed to fight Hebos. Yeah, that's what happened. She was supposed to fight Hebos, but she was injured. That's what happened. But other than that, man, she's been pretty good. She had that one weight miss, but she been figuring it out. She's been figuring it out. She thick, but she fine though. But yeah, man, Cortez improving her striking a little bit. Good with the boxing. All right with the boxing. Really good with the wrestling. Her wrestling is pretty straightforward. It's get in there, get the double leg, put that weight on you, and just pound on you pretty much. Um, Try to get the finish if you can, but definitely bring in the aggression. That's gonna be hard work. 9-2, number 15, Jasmine Jasudavicius has been on somewhat of a tear. 34 years old, 5'7" with the 68-inch reach, representing Niagara top team. Currently on a 2-fight win streak where she got 2 wins by KOTKO, 1 by submission, 6 by decision. She's only lost by decision. But golly, these 2 wins, one is more impressive than the other though. She fought Gabriela Fernandez. Fernandez was making her debut. Fernandez is more the striker. Um, so that was one thing. But she totally shut down Miranda Maverick. Bruh. That was one of the most. That was an ugly fight. I won't say it's one of the most, but it was an ugly fight. Miranda couldn't get the takedowns because Miranda has this weird thing. She don't really do double legs. She does single legs, heavy singles, and try to sometimes high crotch. And Jasmine literally just spread her weight. She just spread her weight and took advantage and got the positioning and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a matter of Tracy Cortez how she times these takedowns. Jasmine striking is not. It's good, but it's not that great. It's sometimes ugly, but when she gets you, when she gets a hold of you, that's when that striking becomes really bad. And if she could gas you, she could break you down and get you, wear on that cardio, wear on you, and get you tired. That's when that striking picks up. And she could put on some combinations on you, boy. Man. So Tracy Cortez will be the smaller of the two. She can carry a lot of weight, and that took us. But Tracy Cortez is gonna have to try to fight. She's gonna have to fight cardio with cardio, and hope she can get things done here. Big step up in talent for Tracy Cortez. I'll tell you that much. We got Edgar Chairez versus Daniel Lacerda in the next fight. Chairez is 10-5. 27 years old, 5'7", 72-inch reach, representing the old Brandon Moreno team and Dram Gym. 4 wins by KOTKO, 6 by submission. He's been submitted twice and lost 3 times by decision. He fought Tatsuro Taira his last fight, but he was 2 wins, both by submission. He lost to Clayton Carpenter. I remember that one. That was a barn burner of a fight. The guy's good. He's pretty solid. Coming into the UFC though, you fought a tough guy in Tyra. Now they gave you Daniel Lacerda. Oh boy, Daniel Lacerda, 11-5. 27, 70-inch reach, 5'6", out of ATS team. 5 wins by knockout or technical knockout. 6 wins by submission. 1 loss by submission, but 4 by KO TKO. This man has lost 4 fights in a row. 4. Jeff Molina beat him in his debut in the second round TKO. Francisco Figueiredo submitted him with a knee bar. Victor Altamirano beat him in round 1 after this dude gassed. And CJ Vergara, after getting beat up by this guy in the first round, gassed and got beat up in the second round. Bruh. Lacerda's game for that first round, most dangerous dude in the world. After that first round, ah. I'll take Edgar Chairez on this fight here, man. I don't got official picks yet, but I'll take Chairez here. I'll take Knudsen in the first fight. I'll take Campbell in the second fight. Jasmine or Tracy, we'll take Tracy. Edgar Chairez. It might change. I might go Jazzy J because I like Canadian fighters, but we'll see. Josh Frem fights Roman Kopylov, 11-2 versus 11-4. Roman Kopylov out of Russia, Frem out of the States. Frem goes out here fighting. Looks good when he's good. Looks bad when he's bad, he's bad. When he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's bad. And I don't like a lot of his shaky fights, man. But he got 8 wins by finish, 4 by KO TKO, 4 by submission, 3 wins by decision. But he's lost and he's been knocked out and submitted once. And he had 2 decision losses. He beat Jamie Pickett, even though I think he missed weight. But then he beat Jamie Pickett and Cedric Dumas. Before that, he got submitted by Trayshawn Gore. And he lost to Fluffy. He beat Joe Bowman, Renato Valente, but then knocked out by Gregory Rodriguez. As I mentioned, Factory X guy. He's good. Good with the striking, good when he puts his knees. Sometimes his fight IQ goes out the window, though. And that's what leaves him. When his fight IQ goes, the defense is gone, his chin is exposed, you can knock him out. His problems. Then we got Robin Hopilov. Riding a 3-fight win streak, 11-2, 32 years old. 6-0 with the 75-inch reach. 6 feet. 10 wins by KO TKO, 1 win by decision. 1 loss by decision, 1 loss by submission. He's on a tear. He beat Alessio Schevchenko a while back. Beat Punahele Soriano by TKO. You know how tough that is? And then beat Claudio Ribeiro. Yo, he smoked Claudio Ribeiro. He smoked Claudio Ribeiro so bad that he fought Claudio the whole fight. Claudio threw kicks and started boxing. And then Claudio totally forgot about the head kick. I always talk about this. My man is a boxer. My man has implemented his boxing. But boy, oh boy, could he throw kicks in the mix. Head kick Claudio Ribeiro dead. Before all these wins, the 3-fight win streak, though, he was a little rocky. But, yo, he's getting it. He's getting it now. I think if this dude puts his jabs out there, I think he beats up Fremd a little bit. I think he could get Fremd open with some big shots and put Fremd away. I will take Roman Hopilov on that fight. We got Lupita Godinez versus Elise Reed at strawweight. Lupi 10-3. The Mexican out of Canada. 30 years old, 5'2" with the 61-inch reach. Representing Titan MMA. Currently riding a 2-fight win streak, as I mentioned. Aguascalientes, Mexico. But find out in Langley, British Columbia, Canada. 2 submissions, 8 decisions. 3 of her losses are by decision. She's never been knocked out or submitted. Last 2 fights, Emily Ducote, she bullied that poor girl, and Cynthia Calvillo. She threw more power shots. She had the loss against Hill, but beat Carnelosi and Loma Lubonmi. Yo, she been pretty solid. Um, that's what it is. She got tight boxing, good combinations, nice power. Her boxing flows pretty damn well. The wrestling is pretty good, and she's getting better and better with mixing both together to give her a nice, solid game. Now we got Elise Reed, who's 7-3. Elise Reed, man, 30 years old, 5'3", 63-inch reach. Out of Kickside Martial Arts. Reed is two. She got 2 wins by KOTKO, 5 wins by decision. She's been knocked out, or technically knocked out twice, and submitted once. She's kind of been win-loss so far. Coming into the UFC, she fought Sajara Eubanks at flyweight. Got that horrible ground and pound savage beating. Got that split decision win against Corey McKenna at strawweight. Then she lost to Sam Hughes. Beat Melissa Martinez, bless you. Got outclassed by Loma Loboni and got submitted on top of that. How you get submitted by Loma? But then she won against Jin Fry. The story of Elise Reed. Elise Reed got a heavy top game when she implements her wrestling. I don't know who told this girl. They said she got a taekwondo background. But if your thing is, yo, I can wrestle, don't have these fights on the feet all goddamn time. Mix things up. Get the kicks in there. Get the kicks. Put your opponent in a false sense of security. Boom. Snap up that double leg. Get that trip. Get that takedown. Implement ground and pound. She had a lot of good wins but ground and pound in her earlier fights before the UFC. I don't know what this girl started doing, man. But she gonna look to try to piece up Loopy. I don't think that if she try to do that, think again. Loopy going to line things up in an evil manner. I'll take Luffy Godinez on that one. I'll take Loopy. I think Loopy will be a little more heavy with the striking. She'll mix up combinations well. I can see a possible submission finish here for her. But we'll see how it plays out. Fernando Padilla versus Kyle Nelson. See, they represent with the Mexican fighters. Fernando Padilla, 145. Shit, 15-4 is Fernando. Fernando's actually good. 26 years old, 6'1" with a 76-inch reach. This kid's actually good. He got 4 losses by decision, but 5 by KO/TKO, 5 wins by KO/TKO, 8 wins by submission, and 2 by decision. This kid's good. His only 2 losses come 2? No, the 4 decision losses, my fault. Spike Carlisle, Kurt Kinsner, Taliesin Suarez, Dan Ige. Out of all those guys, I only know Spike Carlisle, the Alpha Ginger, and Dan Ige, 50K. Other than that, this dude is beating up everybody. And y'all got to remember what he did in his debut. Julian Arosa got erased. He got lit up. Remember? He got lit up with the 1-2s. Crazy combination. Arosa tried to backpedal. Kept eating shots. Stopped by the cage. Got hit. Bounced off the cage into another punch. Oh my God, Julian Erosa got eviscerated. How about I cannot cheer for this kid, Padilla? Come on, man. Mexican independence. I gotta cheer for Padilla. Against Kyle Nelson. Now, Kyle Nelson, the monster, is 14-5-1. He's been in the UFC for quite some time. 32 years old, 5'11", 71-inch reach, out of Musoka Kickboxing in Ontario, man. House of Champions. 5 wins by KO, 4 by submission, 5 by decision. Been knocked out and technically knocked out twice. Submitted once, lost 2 decisions. He beat Blake Builder in a war. Went to a draw against Duho Choi. Lost to Jai Herbert, but that was a 155 fight. Billy Quarantillo worked him. That's Billy. Stopping things, play. Polo Reyes. Who wasn't being Polo Reyes, though? Polo was like do or die. He's like, fuck defense. I'm just going to get punched. Get in. Give me a minute. I have to send you an invite. Or switch over, come in the crowd, and then I can send the invite through the chat. Bro, you did this the last time. What's wrong with you? How do I get on? Oh, you got old timers? Kyle Nelson be digging for shots. He's no nonsense. Constantly in your face, constant pressure, good kick game. He's a pretty solid overall fighter. If there's ever a problem, it's probably a little bit on the speed aspect. But Kyle Nelson is tough as nails, man. And with Padilla, well, so far we see Padilla got hands, man. He's fast. Fast whether striking or using the submission skills, but he's quick. Quick with solid power, man. Um, I'll take Padilla. Won't be an easy fight. I'll take Padilla. Next fight, we got Daniel Zaluba versus Christos Giagos at 155. This is the main card. I think we jumped into the main card of this. Didn't even mention when we jumped in the main card. Oh yeah, that Padilla Nelson fight opens the main card. So Zaluba versus Giagos. Now Daniel Zaluba, Golden Boy. I don't know. My man got a Russian name, German Russian name, but Mexican. 24 years old, 6'1" with the 77-inch reach, representing Extreme Couture. 7 wins by KO, 2 wins by submission, 4 by decision. He's only lost once by decision, and that was his second fight against Trey Ogden. His debut fight was a loss against Trey Ogden. Yeah, you beat Lando Venata Balut. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna talk crap. Trey Ogden's actually a good fighter. Some people will tell you otherwise and reacted the way I did a little bit. But honest to God, Trey Ogden's actually good. He got decent defense and nice awareness. He reads his opponents pretty well. So he could get you into those types of fights where it's it goes from, oh shoot, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna be blasting on this dude, to all of a sudden, yo, why am I fighting this type of fight? Where it's just slowed down. And he could go ahead and take advantage and sometimes flip the script and turn up. But Zell Huber got reach. Um, he got reach. He's young, long, rangy kid for the division. Um, he got nice skills, man. But somewhat as far as his UFC run goes, it's a work in progress. Still, he's only 1-1, so we'll see what happens. But from a lot of his other regional pro fights, dynamic, man. Big knees, nice punching combinations. When he's on, he flows really well. He's going up against Christos Giagos. 20-10 goes to Spartan, man. Um, 33 years old, 5'10", 71.5-inch reach, representing Black House. Um, 8 wins, well, 12 in total. 8 wins, well, 12 wins by finish. 8 wins by KO TKO, 4 wins by submission, 8 wins by decision. He's been knocked out or technically knocked out twice, submitted 5 times, and lost by decision 3 times. He's tough. He's tough, and that's something that we need to talk about. Last fight he fought Ricky Glenn. Knocked out Ricky Glenn. Before that, though, he fought the Beast. He fought two Beasts. Thiago Moises and Armin Sarukian. Come on, man. These dudes are two beasts. Respectively, Moises is a beast in his jiu-jitsu aspect. Armin Sarukian is just like the overall what the hell type monster. But he beat Sean Soriano before that and Carlton Minus. He did lose to Jakar close, but he had some good wins before that. Um, he did fight Charles Oliveira in his debut, though. God damn. That's rough. To fight Charles Oliveira in your debut, you asking for too much. But yeah, man. Um, this is gonna be a gritty fight. Uh, I don't know if Giagos is gonna be able to get takedowns. I know Zell Huber's gonna use a lot of his reach. He got Zell Huber got to make sure he doesn't get caught up in these mid range exchanges. If he does, get the best of them and try to make this a range fight. As for Giagos, get inside, make this busy. You got to break Zellhuber. Either you break Zellhuber with your striking, or you just outwork Zellhuber. But that's how you got to do it. I don't know who I got there. I'll leave it at that. Raul Rosas Jr. fights Terrence Mitchell at 135. Raul Rosas was 19. Was it 18? Turned 19. Now he's 18? Yeah, he's 18. 5'9", 67-inch reach. He came in. He was hot. 1 win by KO TKO, 5 wins by submission, 1 win by decision. His one loss is by decision, and it was his last fight against Christian Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez took that man out the water. He took the fish out of the water and tried to see if he could breathe. It did not work that way. Rodriguez overwhelmed him with experience and a solid game plan. Before that, though, my dude was beating Jay Perrin. He beat Mando Gutierrez to get signed in the Contender Series last season. He fought in the UWC where he picked up a lot of wins by submission. He also had his one KO TKO win in the process. Good wrestling skills, nice chain wrestling. He fights Terrence Mitchell. Terror Bear. I don't know what the hell name is that. 14-3, 33 years old, 5'10". They don't have his reach here. But the Garage Crew. He was training in Alaska, fought in the Alaska Fighting Championships where Jared Cannonier was fighting. 6 wins by KO TKO, 8 wins by submission. He's been knocked out or technically knocked out twice. One of those was against that boy Simon. And the one decision loss, yeah, he has. Cameron Simon, yep. TKO, ground and pound. Before that, he had the wins, first round wins. He fought Kai Kara France on the Ultimate Fighter. And Kara France beat him in 30 seconds. You gotta be, what the fuck? But he's a big wrestler. He has a big frame. Big wrestler. We'll see how the wrestlers deal with each other. Yeah, it's okay.
Remember one time I used to do that? Go use that.
It was all right. Terrence Mitchell looked to probably beat up on Rosas, I think Rosas got to get his hands together. We need more hands, more striking ability from Rosas. You got exposed bad. Um, you got exposed bad. He's a young kid. That's the whole thing. So we'll see if Rosas' wrestling can outdo Mitchell. You see the thing with when Simon beat Mitchell, Simon had the striking. Simon took advantage using the striking to get in and managed to reverse a bad position and beat him. Rosas doesn't necessarily have solid striking to say, yo, I can get you worried, and then get you in a bad position. He got some good wrestling, but we'll see how that works against a guy who can also wrestle. And he's fighting at 135. Shit. So the next fight is the co-main. Yes, sir. We finally getting it. Kevin Holland called for this fight. Kevin Holland's getting this fight. Number 13, Kevin Holland faces number 14, JDM, Jack Della Maddalena. Man, oh man. I am so happy this fight is happening because these dudes are savages. Striking ability between these two is not so. Kevin Holland's improved game is going to be something we all pay attention to because we know what happened with Jack Della Maddalena's last fight. So we're trying to see if he's improved on that or not. Other than that, Kevin Holland's out here to fight. And you know when Kevin's represented, he represented heavy. 25-9, this man called out for this fight. 30 years old, 6'3", 81-inch reach. Representing Travis Lutter, BJJ. 13 wins by KO TKO, 8 wins by submission, 4 by decision. He's been knocked out or technically knocked out 1 time, has lost 3 times by submission, and have 5 decision losses. Beating Michael Chiesa by submission and beating Santiago Ponzinibbio by knockout is really impressive. He fought Stephen Thompson in that crazy war, lasted as long as he did against Hamzat. Tim Means, he beat Tim Means and Alex Oliveira. He had that rough run, somewhat rough. I won't say rough. Actually, anyway, he fought Kyle Dawkins, Marvin Vittori, and Derek Brunson. Those guys he lost to, but he beat everybody else. He beat Fluffy. He beat Jakeem Buckley. He beat Darren Stewart. He beat Charlie Alta. Oh my God, he savagely injured Charlie Altaveros, and then he knocked out Souza on his knees. Come on, man. Kevin Holland is fucking insane. The fact that he got that double, triple jab, he's so rangy. He could find you with that jab all day, but his underrated submission game is pretty damn good. Uh, his kicks are good. His grappling is improving, and he needs that against a guy like Jack Della Maddalena. Jack Della Maddalena is one of the most technically, fundamentally sound boxers we've seen so far in the UFC. One of them. There's many of them, but as there's like MMA boxing, like bringing boxing fundamentals into MMA. He's one of those guys. 15-2, 27 years old, 5'11" with a 73-inch reach, riding a 15-fight win streak. Man, 11 wins by KO TKO, 2 by submission, 2 by decision. He's only lost by KO TKO once and submitted once. And that was years. That was actually back to back in his first 2 fights. Other than that, he's rolled that streak. Smoking folks. Smoked P. Rodriguez. Ramzan Ameev, he put him to sleep with a body shot. Danny Roberts got annihilated. Randy Brown caught the business. And, Sean Brady was supposed to fight him, but Sean didn't. And we would have probably learned a lot more. But Basil Hafez fought him. And those dudes went to war And it was just like, what the hell's going on here? What the hell's going on here? And so, even though Magdalena won, he looked horrible on the ground. Hafez managed to get some good control and some good takedowns. It was the takedowns versus the striking, the takedowns of Hafez versus the striking of Magdalena. And they gave it to Magdalena, but that was a rough fight. Kevin Holland's gonna try to put some wrestling and some jujitsu. He comes from a Travis Luter school, and Luter's was one of the best in jujitsu. So you know he'll try to put those chops on him. Jack Della Maddalena is gonna fight from range with the jab. He's gonna get inside and work the head and the body in combination. Mix in a couple leg kicks to slow down Holland, so you can get him right where he needs him for the shots, for the punches, for the punch combos. Holland got to keep defense up, not just for your head, but for your body and your legs. And try to mix it up with the feet, with the stand up and the takedowns. I don't know who I got there yet. I'm confused. And then we got Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko in the main event. Grasso with that fourth round victory. Was it fourth round, right? It was fourth. 16-3. Who would have guessed? 30 years old, 5'5", 66-inch reach. Out of the long-standing Lobo gym. 4 wins by KO TKO, 2 wins by submission, 10 by decision. Got 1 submission loss and 2 decision losses. But Jin Yong Kim, she beat Macy Barber. That was the fight where Macy was fighting Ghost. Calderwood literally sat there and said, "Yo, choke me out." Viviane Araujo, she beat, and then Shevchenko. Yeah, fourth round submission. My girl was fighting in the strawweight division. Had some good wins, but a couple, in the UFC, she had some tough losses. Herrig, Suarez, she lost to. Carla Esparza. But then she had missed weight against Miranda Marcos. She was supposed to fight Claudia Gadelia, and she missed weight there too. That's why she ended up moving to strawweight. Not strawweight, to flyweight. Long standout in Lobo Gym. Her and Reina Aldana. There you go. Reina Aldana. Karen Rodriguez. Yeah, a lot of those ladies, man. Hardcore ladies in the MMA camp there. They bring a lot of firepower. Solid boxing fundamentals that she has. Quick hands, insane 1-2s, good uppercuts and hooks, but her 1-2s are just lightning quick. We seen in the first fight how she managed to just zip on Shevchenko. Shevchenko couldn't quite read shit. She kept getting caught. Lit. It was only when Val started implementing the wrestling then it was all right. Grasso's in a little bit of trouble. But every time in the stand-up exchanges, Grasso was lighting her up. Good footwork, a couple of kicks here and there, but just on the 1-2s and the shots, high lows. Yo, she did good. But we'll see if Val could come back again. 35 years old, 5'5", 65-inch reach. Out of Kyrgyzstan, but it represents Peru. Multiple-time Muay Thai champion. 8 wins by KO TKO, 7 wins by submission, 8 wins by decision, but she's been technically knocked out once. That was against the Gorilla. The Gorilla. Team Hurricane awesome, man. The Gorilla. Hold on. God, don't tell me I forgot her name already. But the one submission loss is Alexa Grasso. Oh my God. Come on, man. Come on. She's fighting what's her name, man? Alima Lane McFarland. Ah. Oh, Liz Carmouche. There you go. Liz Carmouche. There you go. Liz Carmouche stopped the TKO with the she made her bleed. But yeah. Other than that, she beat everybody. I see everybody talking about, we overhyped Shevchenko because the division is weak. That's not her fault. All the divisions when they start off are weak, then they gotta grow eventually. We've seen that years ago. If you've been watching UFC since the early days, the Stone Age, then you understand you gotta wait a while till we really see levels. So Shevchenko's been good. Good combinations, nasty check hook that she has in her arsenal. Whether it's the leg kicks, the spinning kicks, the body kicks, she gets tenacious with her elbows. She has a whole arsenal, man. She uses nice wrestling and judo tactics as well. She is the overall packaged fighter, man. Um, but we got to see. She's been in fighting for so long, so long. I said the same thing to with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. When Jędrzejczyk started losing, is because she's been fighting for so long. It's like, bro, what can I do? We seen that with Amanda Nunes. She fought. She lost to Juliana Pena. She beat Pena, defended, and said, "Yo, I'm calling a career because you've been fighting for so long. When you finally reach that pinnacle, it's like, bro, what's left to do? You know, she's been a bantamweight champ, as Amanda Nunes has been. Val hasn't had an opportunity. Um, there's a brand new opportunity. If she wins this, she's flyweight champ. But then you got more competitors to face. If she loses, she got the option to go to bantamweight and chase the bantamweight title. But other than that, Shevchenko just got to do what makes her great. Don't make the stupid mistakes. Go out there and perform. We don't need all the spinning wheel, spinning back kicks, and all that extra dumb shit you did. We don't need all of those. Because that's what cost you. You kept telegraphing that same spinning back kick. Like, motherfucker, when you fight as much as they've been fighting, as much as Shevchenko has been fighting, Shevchenko's fighting like what, every 3 or 4 months at one point? People are gonna notice. Like, yo, I'm gonna watch tape. How many times you throwing this spinning back kick? All right. The fuck? So they're gonna time that shit. They're gonna get used to it. You gotta make shit non-oblivious to people. And that's it, man. So I look forward to that. Boxing got a good fight. Um, William Zepeda versus Mercito Gesta is gonna be on Saturday. Do catch that. Zepeda's been a monster for quite some time. Do catch that. On Friday, we got Luis Alberto Lopez in the IBF featherweight title fight. That's on ESPN. Top rank. Let's go. Angel Fierro fights Brian Zamaripa in the lightweight division. Rafael Pedroza versus Ramon Cardenas at super bantamweight. But definitely that William Zepeda Marcito Gesta fight on the zone. I'm trying to catch that. Mexican Independence, baby. But on Monday, if you got time, ESPN Plus, Kenshiro Taraji fights Heki Butler for the WBC Dub and WBA Junior Flyweight titles. We got a big deal here. We seen what happened with the monster fought that boy Fulton. Yeah, this could happen again in the damn flyweight division. So do tune into that boxing fights and boxing events. Um, and that's it, man. I don't got nothing else to really talk about. Unless you want to hear me talk about next week's contender series. Week 7 of the Contender Series. Oh, let's see if we got some. Yeah, we got horses. I forgot that. We got horses on here next week. Week 7 of the Contender Series. Shamil Gaziev, who's 10-0, fights Greg Velasco in the heavyweights. That's the main event. We also have Igor Da Silva, who's 7-0, versus Jonathan Silva, who's 8-1-0. Is that Mexico? Yeah. Kenan Krasuski, who's 14-1, versus Dylan Montello, who's 7-2. Talita Alencar, ooh, 4-0 versus Stephanie Luciano, who's 5-1. Battle of the Brazilians. Jacoby Jones, who's 6-1 versus Daniel James Allen. So it's a heavyweight fight to be the main event. 155 at the co-main, 115 the ladies, 155 before that, and the opener is flyweight. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's look because it's Talita Alencar. She looked fine. They always throw some fine looking lady, man. Out of MMA Masters too. Oh my god. So she coming in here with some heat. And Luciano look like a beast. Gordian fight team. Alright. She fighting on a jungle fight. She been an LFA jungle fight. Alright, cool. Shamil Gaziev. Alright. But yeah, I guess that's it, man. I don't got nothing else to say. I'm done here. I'm out. So if you want to catch me, New Year's same beat at Mr. B 1986. Drop a, what I mean, hit me up on the DMs. I tweet and retweet, give out some fight info, whatever. Um, I'm on OK Live, Mr. B Misterb. Um, on OK Live, you can check me out when we got the viewing parties going. Whenever there's fights going on, I'm there. And whenever I'm on another person's stream, whether it's late night parents on Thursdays, we got the Bell Kings. Shout out to the Bell Kings in the Fantasy Football League that we got ourselves into. Crazy Mess, man. Tony D, Brian, Big Brian, Cattle Skull, Fireman Rich, Ted, all them other dudes, man. Everybody that's competing, big props. Um, and yeah, that's it, man. Y'all be good, y'all be easy, y'all take care. And I see y'all when I see y'all. So then, peace.